You know, it's funny, I didn't think I was going to have a lot of favorite things this month. I figured, you know, you've done this relatively recently. You're not going to have that much stuff. And then I started writing things down, and then I started writing more things down, and then I started writing more things down. And now I have 18 things. Normally I try and keep it between 10 and 12 for one of these videos. I have 18. I might have actually talked about some of these before, but whatever. That means they're my favorites still, and I'm going to just keep talking about them because hell yeah. Hi guys, this is my favorites video, in case you hadn't figured that out yet. It's the end of October 2020. These are things I've been loving this month and probably a little bit before this month. I know for a fact there is at least 2 things on this list that I have already said are my favorite purchases of 2020, and if I do a roundup at the end of this year, they'll probably make another appearance. I don't know if I'm going to or not. So anyway, this will have some planner related things towards the end, but it'll have all sorts of stuff from my life because my life is staying at home right now. It's all gonna be things from around the house, my guys. If all I do is spend time in my house, then apparently all the things I love are in my house, including my cat, who is currently on the floor licking his butt. I think I talked about this in my live plan with me, so if you like watch a bunch of them in sequence over the last few months, you'll likely catch some references to pantry moths. I had a pantry moth infestation earlier this year. What season? It's fall, sorta, now, but like in California it still feels like summer. A couple months ago, whenever it was, time's all blurred together, time has no meaning anymore. I had a pantry moth infestation in our pantry. Duh. It was such a nightmare to get rid of in terms of throwing all this food away and disinfecting and cleaning, and just, I didn't want it to happen again. For 2 reasons. 1, gross. 3 reasons. 1, gross. 2, expensive. And 3, my son is terrified of moths. They really upset him. And having pantry moths, whenever the little moths were flying around, it was horrifying to him. He did not want to come in the kitchen. Well, the thing that we are loving is those OXO pop containers. The ones, they're like the plastic and they have the lid, and then there's the thing that you pop and that's what seals it. They're pricey. We get them at Target, and I have been buying a couple of new ones every pay period or so. Every time I've gone big grocery shopping, I will buy a couple more of them to continually get all of our dry goods, as many as possible, into sealed plastic containers to keep moths away from them. All of our flour and oats and spaghetti and other oats and I don't remember what. A bunch of our shit is now in these plastic containers. It makes the pantry look more organized, even though still not really that organized, which is amazing. I really love them, both because they make me feel secure. I am taking as many reasonable steps as possible to avoid pantry moths again, but also they're just fancy looking. I also have bay leaves in my pantry because apparently that's supposed to help too. Another thing, well, I guess they're 2, they kind of go together. They don't go together, I didn't buy them together, but they are kind of a pair, is my new cutting board and my new chef's knife. So my cutting board is this big, it's honkin'. I have regular depth counters, and this thing almost like goes like the full counter. And I have butcher block counters. I would use my counters as a cutting board. We condition them and take care of them, but like the only reason I don't use them as a cutting board is because I have very, very limited counter space. We have a tiny galley-sized kitchen. It is very, very small. And if I used counter space as a cutting board without being able to move the cutting board stuff to the side, then I wouldn't have anywhere to cook. So having a big cutting board that's heavy and has that divot in it to catch, like, you know, stuff, but is also movable, is really helpful. IKEA has like bamboo cutting boards that have like a divot in them, and we have used those for years, but for some reason Jesse like let one soak or something and it separated and came apart, and we were like, oh fuck my life. I was on the hunt for one that was heavy enough to work, that had the divot in it, and that was big for what my purposes were, and I found it at World Market. I couldn't find it online, so I can't leave you a link in the comments below. I should mention, by the way, I will leave links to as many things as I can below, and some of them will be affiliate links. If they're Amazon, they're affiliate links. If they're not Amazon, then I don't think that they're affiliate links. But there will be affiliate links below, and if you use them, you may be contributing to this channel, so thanks. Thumbs up. And if you don't use the affiliate links, that's also fine. Like, do what you need to do, my dudes. Anyways, it's a big honking cutting board, like huge. Like, it's a couple feet at least. Like, it's this big cutting board, and it's heavy, and I can cut up a bunch of different things and keep them kind of off in their own areas and still have plenty of space. The knife was one that I saw reviews online for it, and it is just an excellent, excellent, excellent knife. It's so sharp and it's so heavy and it's all one piece. It is a quality fucking knife. It is the Zwilling Chef's Knife Pro. The one I have is 8 inches, and the important thing is to make sure you get the one from Germany. If you get the one from Spain or the one from China, it's going to be lesser quality steel. The one from Germany is the one that has the heavy duty nice steel. Now let's say that I have already several cuts because I am clumsy and I have sliced right into myself a few times, but fuck dude, it goes through a pineapple like butter. The cutting board was like 40 bucks at World Market. The knife was like 150 bucks and Jesse got it for me as an early Christmas present. So pricey, but I intend to keep this one sharpened and I intend to pass this one on to one of my kids. Like, that's how nice it is. 2 recipes have been in our like #1 favorites in the last couple of months, and I think I might have mentioned one of them at least already. I know I've mentioned them in like vlogs and shit, and that is the chicken gnocchi soup and the scallop spaghetti and white wine sauce. I had never had scallops before, and I got them from Imperfect Foods. They were pieces. They weren't even whole scallops, which was actually kind of nice because then when you cooked them and like seared them, you got more of the crusty seared because there was a lot of smaller pieces. They're both awesome. The chicken gnocchi soup has chicken and all sorts of veggies in it and a little bit of cream, a little bit of cheese, but it's just like a extra like creamy, rich chicken noodle soup almost, except with gnocchi. We had it for dinner last night. It is wonderful. And I cannot wait to do it in bread bowls because having some bread to soak up the delicious salty broth is just like chef's kiss. And then the scallop recipe is wonderful. It calls for capers, but you don't cook them in. You just put them in at the end. So the only person in our house who seems to like the capers is Jesse. So I might just omit them the next time I make them. I don't really see the point. They're like little pickled peas. That's what RJ called them. I don't like them. But other than the capers, it's like a creamy sauce that uses wine. I've been using a Sauvignon Blanc for the white wine because you use a cup of it. It's a lot of wine. And you want to make sure, I guess this is my moment for a tip for those of you who do not have a lot of experience cooking with wine. You want to make sure to cook with a wine that you would drink if you drink wine. You don't want to use the cheapest wine possible because if it's nasty, the nastiness is going to cook into your food. When you cook with wine, the alcohol cooks off and you have the flavor left. So you want to have a good flavor. And the Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc from, I believe it's New Zealand, is really, really good. And it's been working really well in this recipe. But it's a cream sauce with spaghetti and seared scallops, and we serve it with bread and roasted broccoli, and oh my God, so good. I will have both of those recipes linked in the description for you to go try. And let me know if you do, because God damn it, they're yummy. And then to wrap up this like kitchen commentary, the knife is high on my list, but this one is probably my #1 purchase so far in all of 2020, and it's my Dutch oven. It's cast iron, but it is ceramic coated, so it's easy to clean, and you don't have to worry about the seasoning and all that, because I am hopeless when it comes to, I had a cast iron skillet and I fucking did not do well with it. But the cast iron Dutch oven, I have the blue one. It's like the enamel ceramic coating. It's from Lodge. I got it at Target. I think it was like 65 bucks or something. So worth it. I do so much cooking in it. Like, I know you're like, it cooks so evenly because of the cast iron. I make, I think, both of those recipes in it. I sear the scallops in it. I do the sauce in it, and then I add the spaghetti to it after it's cooked. I do the whole chicken gnocchi soup in it. I do so much cooking. I use it at least a couple times a week. It makes me so happy. It's easy to clean. It cooks so evenly. You can put it in the oven, and it's super cute. I'm going to probably get one for my sister for Christmas, and if she watches this video, she already knows I'm getting her one because I asked her what color she would want. It's just, it's so nice. It's so nice. If you like to cook, especially if you like making things like soups and stews, and you don't have a Dutch oven. I bought it because I want to make sourdough. I still haven't made a single fucking loaf of sourdough, but I have cooked all sorts of other things in it, and it has been 10 out of 10 worth it. I got a couple of makeup, skincare related things, and I kind of talked about them in my recent moist morning routine video. I just talked about these for a second, and that is the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum and the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. And then I actually got the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat lip liner in Pillow Talk as well. Like I just grabbed them both because they kind of go together sometimes. These are both not inexpensive. The lipstick is definitely a bougie price. Charlotte Tilbury is a luxury brand, I believe. And the Glass Skin Serum is not cheap either. but god damn it if these are not worth every penny that I have spent on them. This glass skin stuff, I have big pores, I have uneven skin tone, I have uneven skin texture, I have adult fucking zits. I've got all the things. I've got the weird dryness and oiliness that comes with both being an oily ass bitch and on diuretics. And this stuff, it's kind of sticky. I don't wear a lot of makeup right now, but it makes the makeup I do have go on so nicely that I don't need primer. It makes my skin look just like luminous. It says it on the front, translucent and luminous. And I'm not kidding when I say that this does just make me look healthy. And that's a big deal for me because I am not healthy right now. I am so sick. All my makeup is geared towards me not looking like I'm dying of fucking kidney failure. And this stuff, what does it say? Crystal clear glass skin. I don't know if it gives me glass skin. Luminous is not, I mean, yes, it is the word, but then I would also suggest kind of like, you know when you see like a really like rosy, healthy looking peach? Like a peach that just looks ripe and beautiful. How it has that like kind of soft, but like saturated in color kind of look. That's kind of what this stuff makes me feel like. And then this stuff is basically, I'm wearing it now, both the lipstick and the lip liner. My lips, but better. I know they have a couple of different deepnesses of this, but this is just like a nude that works really well for me. It's not too bright, but it gives definition to my lips, which is really important because otherwise my lips disappear into my face. So yeah, bougie products that cost a lot of money, but I have not worn a single lip product with color besides this since I got it a couple months ago. Like you can see how like the side of it is starting to, it's like, it looks used because it is used. Now I also have a couple of like clothing kind of related, I mean, well, clothing because they are clothing, not just related, but a couple of those. One is the shirt I'm wearing now. It's my Get Mitchell shirt. This shirt is symbolizing getting the Senate back and I love it. And it's not just that of the sentiment, it's also really comfortable. It's one of those like soft, like the nice, you know how there's like the t-shirts that are kind of thick and scratchy. And then there's the ones that are a little bit more thin and fitted. Like they just fit better and they're more comfortable. This is one of those shirts. I think it's American Apparel is the brand. I don't know. I don't shop at American Apparel. They don't generally have stuff that fits me. I have heard from my friends who make like print t-shirts that American Apparel is the brand of t-shirt to get the really soft, nice one. Anyway, I like this one. I love it. The other clothing item that I am a big fan of is giant nightshirts. Now, the one I am loving is this baseball kind of style one I got on Amazon because it's long. It comes like down almost to my knees and not almost to my knees, but like quite a bit down my thighs. It's big and it's comfortable. I also have a bunch that I have gotten from Target both this year and last year. They're big nightshirts with like a pocket right here, and the ones from Target are really soft. The one from Amazon is not as soft. It's a little bit thicker than this. It's not the same heinous t-shirt material I was talking about, but it is definitely not this soft either. It's like somewhere in between there. The ones from Target are amazingly soft. The reason giant nightshirts have been really, like I love wearing pajama pants. I love wearing leggings to bed. I've always loved that, but recently, because of how uncomfortable I am with how big my kidneys are, like I damn near look pregnant at this point. You might have seen it in some of the vlogs. Having a giant soft nightshirt with just some like pajama shorts underneath it has been the most comfortable way for me to sleep. It's really not fun when you wake up in the middle of the night and the tank top you're wearing has ridden up over your kidney belly like you're Gus Gus in Cinderella, and you have to like yank it down, and you feel bad about yourself when you're just trying to fall back asleep. So having a giant nightshirt kind of cuts that, and I appreciate it. And so I'm loving my giant nightshirts. And especially since I'm only able to do laundry like once a week now because of Jesse working in the garage, I had to buy a few extras so I would have enough to get me through the week, because I am one of those people who does not wear pajamas more than one night in a row. It grosses me out. Now, before we get into stuff that's related to my office and my planner stuff, which will be the last bit of this video, and this is a long fucking video at this point, I do really quick want to mention that I finally joined the 21st century and downloaded the Nextdoor app. Fuck, dude. Reddit is my like current favorite place to go to read about other people's drama. OPD, I'm down with OPD. I'm down with other people's drama, not my personal drama. But holy shit, downloading the Nextdoor app has opened me up to a whole world of other people's drama in my personal community, especially considering it's election season and we have a very contentious mayor's race going on in the city of Napa right now. And it is so much fun to read the Nextdoor drama. Just 10 out of 10. If you've never gotten the Nextdoor app to look into like the drama in your neighborhood, good times. The first thing I want to talk about in my office is, like in the planner world in my office, is actually, again, not really super related to all that. It's my trash can. It's just a cheap trash can from Target, but this one has a foot activated lid. The reason this one is a big deal, for the longest time I made do with just a white little bin that didn't have a lid and I just throw shit in it. Lucy decided he loves chewing on plastic. So he would get up to my bin and he would get all on it and then knock the whole thing over and knock trash everywhere. So our first way to deal with this, because we don't do anything the easy way, is to put a brick in the bottom of the trash can so that it was then weighted and he couldn't knock it over as easy. But then he got bigger and he could still get into it and just scoop out what he wanted. Apparently washi tape is his favorite thing to eat. Now he's big enough where he could knock it over even with the brick in it. So Jessie was like, Cindy, just suck it up and get a can with a lid on it. So I did. I got one from Target. I think it was $12. Life has been so much more peaceful in my office since I got it. Big investment recently was upgrading my mic. It wasn't really upgrading, it was kind of like side grading because it's basically the same mic I had before. I just got the one it's the Yeti Caster. It's a podcast boom arm. The same Yeti blue microphone, but in like a swing around boom arm where you can like pull the microphone down in front of you. I needed to replace my microphone because I dropped it and I had some weird humming underneath it. Since I dropped it, Jesse took it and he's going to try and tweak it because he knows how to do all that stuff, but he's just going to keep it. This new one is awesome because not only is it not dropped and broken, but I can swing it around and have it up above me while I'm streaming or while I am filming and keep it a lot closer to my face, get a lot better sound quality from it. And the boom arm that the Yeti Caster comes with is phenomenal. It is a sexy boom arm. It has like there's a name for it and I don't know what it is. It's like a resistance situation where you can change. You can like pull it into place and it'll stay there, but then you can move it, like you can just move it around and it'll automatically like secure itself. It's so nice. It was like $200 for the mic with the boom arm and everything, and it just clips to my desk and I love it. It's one of those quality of life upgrades that's really easy. And if you are somebody who films plan with me and does overhead shots, I've had people ask me how I get sound quality using the camera that I do, and it's because I have my podcast microphone that I use, and now I can actually position it in a much better way, so thumbs up to that. I have one art supply I want to talk about, and this is a set of watercolors. They're not shit grade and they're not professional. They're like in the middle grade, like the artist grade, but there's not any real information on it, but they work really well. They're pigmented. They don't do a lot of granulating, so if you want granulation, you got to spend a little bit more money. And I have some really nice watercolors I use for like finished professional pieces, but for painting for the fun, this set is wonderful because I love the color range of it. I learned about it from watching Shada Campbell's channel. These are the Mungyo 48 pan set. I got them on Amazon. It was $45 for the set, and for this many colors that of this nice of quality, so worth it. Just really, really nice. There's a huge selection of greens, there's a big selection of browns and reds, and these yellow ochre colors here and the peach, like these 4 colors here, are wonderful for mixing if you like to paint botanicals and earth tones. I'm just really enjoying it. The only ones I really haven't used are these 4 down here on the end that are like the metallic ones. I have not really fucked with those yet. There's a gold, a copper, a silver, and like a pearl, and I have not really fucked with those yet. All of the other colors I absolutely have been loving, and I've been painting almost every single day. I haven't been filming it because I'm doing it for me. It's like a little exercise and just practicing brushwork, and these have been what I've been using most of the time, and I'm really enjoying it. I did a video last week where I talked about how I'm probably going to go back to bullet journaling. As I've been using a planner, I've also been just making to-do lists and other notes, and this little steno notebook that I got from Staples is like the greatest thing for me ever. I think I've filled up maybe half of it. This helped me through the book. Like I used this to break down a lot of the shit I was doing for the book. It's a Town Street Arts Notepad, steno pad. It's just lined. The reason I like it though is not just because it's a steno pad, but because it has a hard front cover and back cover, and it's blue and it's got that kind of like linen-y look. Like it looks a little nicer than just a cheap steno pad, but it's basically just a steno pad. But it has been like my awesomest like note pad. Like I said, I'm just filling it up. So this little guy, I don't even know how much it costs. I couldn't find it online. But just having like a steno notepad around, it's basically like a post-it note squared. Pen. Okay, so I have 2 pens to talk about here. 3 technically, but 2 of them are the same. For the majority of September, I was using this Finito fine liner, Pentel Finito fine liner. It has, I'm going to do a video on it probably next month, but it's an extra fine liner from Pentel. It has a cap with a pen clip. It shadows quite a bit, but I don't care. It reminds me of the ultra fine flares, which were some of my favorite pens for years. In college, I loved them. And this reminds me a lot of that, but it feels a little bit fancier. As a heavy-handed person, this fine liner is excellent because even though it's a metal tip, I tend to destroy those really quickly as a heavy-handed person. These pens could take a lot of my punishment. Not for art, things like that, but just for like writing and things like that. I'm a big fan of this. I haven't been using it lately, the last few weeks, because I have gotten sucked into the Pentel, is it Pentel? Yeah, Pentel Energel Klena. I learned about these in the Coffee Monsters Co. Facebook group. This one is the 05 Black, and this one is the 05 Blue Black. Both are gorgeous. You can get them on JetPens for $3 or on Amazon for $6. They are refillable. They are so smooth. They are basically like the Japanese needle tip style of gel pen, but you can buy refills for them. This one is it's like a pink. I don't know how well you can see because of the light, but it's like cream and pink colored. It's just fucking gorgeous. The ink is nice and black, and they are just super smooth. So these are the jam. The jam, and this is the one I'm going to be using for the foreseeable future in my bullet journal. Speaking of which, if you watch my video on Wednesday, you'll know that I am thinking of going back to my bullet journal full time, only my bullet journal. Before I made that decision, since when did I start doing this again? I picked this up. I was using the steno pad, right, making notes, and I was like, I'm going to go back to my bullet journal. The very first day I used it for a little bit of notes. The first day I went back to just using it on a daily basis was the very last day of August. And since then, I have used it almost every single day, both for notes and for like prepping for videos, for testing colors out, all those things. And now I am testing out different methods of weeklies and the Alistair method and all of that. But the fact of the matter is that I intend, after ignoring my bullet journal for several months because of quarantine, I intend to finish 2020 out in this bullet journal, and in November I think I will only be in a bullet journal and not in a weekly planner at all, which I don't think I've ever done before. So that should be interesting, question mark? We shall see. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you'll remember from last year I went through this existential crisis about how my bullet journal didn't feel right to me anymore, right? And so I was using it in like the old school Ryder Carroll way, but you can tell when lockdown happened, because my last day that I did daily bullet journaling was March 10th. No, March 11th. It was March 10th. March 13th was when we locked down. And then I tried to set it up for Animal Crossing. That didn't work. Did some fuckery in it in April. That was fun. Or August. And now I'm back to using it on a daily basis. And so yeah, I am becoming a big fan of this again. Well, it's kind of like where we were separated, but we are trying our relationship again on a trial basis. So maybe not a favorite, but worth mentioning. Anyway, so that's a lot of shit that I have really enjoyed in this last month and a half or so. I would love to hear something that you really enjoyed. You know, it's hard to enjoy things when the world is a fucking dumpster fire, but you never know. That's when a pen can feel extra awesome. So let me know about something you enjoyed this month in the comments below. Maybe a recipe, maybe a cooking tool, maybe a nightshirt, maybe a kitty. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to have a plan to vote, because election day here in the United States is coming up in a week. Holy shit. And until next time, my dudes, peace out. Oh, and subscribe.